I was talking about what is the role of Nobel Foundation over here, which was established from a will paper given by Alfred Nobel, and that time he has established 1896. He is making a will and he is proposing for development of science and technologies. Whatever money he has earned throughout his life, he want to contribute 95%, 94% of the total wealth for the Nobel Foundation, and he wants to have a vision of Nobel Foundation. His money will be deposited, and the whatever interest is being generated every year, he wants to give Nobel Prize as per his wish. The subject was decided. I am trying to bring those Nobel Foundation, the wish, in light of few things over here, since I have taken a journey from 1885, the establishment of Indian National Congress. I am analyzing the history also in Europe, many places in Sweden. That time also there are a lot of revolution. You have Karl Marx that is coming to the picture. You have First World War, creation of USSR, the Lenin, Stalin, and all those people, how they have taken after First World War, how the Lenin, he was in exile, he's coming back with Leo Tolstoy, and he is forming the Bolshevik movement, and is trying to give a save of his own country. The Lenin has done many things for the country that I will take a separate lecture. And after that, how Stalin, he become a leader from a dictator, and how he accumulated wealth of trillions of dollars and occupying many parts in Europe, and how his influence and dictator, he is having close to 10 trillion, 7 to 10 trillion US dollar, the estimation of wealth a single person has accumulated, and he has ruled Soviet Union a very longest time in the history of Soviet Union. So till his death, how a communist person has taken the philosophy of Lenin, or for that matter Marx. So Karl Marx is from Germany. So how those things, the movement taken place, and what is their objective, that has to be understood. Their philosophy, I am bringing this communism over here, their philosophy is not supporting the nationalism. Even though they are not supporting the nationalism, how the hyper nationalist being created over here, and they become the dictator. And I told about in that time also, I want to introduce or incorporate the idea of understanding of Charles Darwin over here, the theory of evolution, of origin of species, how he is placing it in a different order, how the evolution taken place. I want to have the food chain or biological chain into the picture, whether any kind of model can be developed in order to resolve many issues. Even communism, people talk about it has got the evolution, and it's a process. It is not the process, nothing to do with the process. It is the individual mind, whether this person is echoing the philosophical understanding of Marxism, and how in practically those leaders are using and become the dictator. There are many examples in modern day, how Russia has split it in many parts in 1985, your Perestroika, Gorbachev time. Everybody can read the history, probably will open up many things. What are the reason? So I have tried to analyze many things, that how communism, the concept of communism has created the leader who are dictators in present day or present terms. You can see the North Korea, what is the status. So is they are totally isolated from the world, and that gentleman also, the whole wealth is captured. He is a unilateral dictator, having trillions of dollars. They are the world richest person in the list of the richest. Even Joseph Stalin also the same thing. How they fought with Germany, the fear of Hitler. So Hitler also is a product of hyper nationalism. What is this? Probably one need to see. And finally, the path of Second World War, from First World War to Second World War, even the Cold War, there are many things that had happened for many years. These are all part of the history. But whether this communism is bad or good, we are promoting in India also. Those things has been critically analyzed. What kind of communism we are promoting, that is known to everybody. And those things I am not discussing. I will have a separate discussion in that direction. Even I talk about Cuba, how Fidel Castro. So we talk about communism, everybody talks about it's a very nice ideology and all those things. How Fidel Castro from a poor family at the later stage of his life, his opinion and thoughts about one night stand, probably one can see that how this gentleman used his power and a kind of a communist is become a partially dictator, and at his later stage of life he ruled this country many years. Now his brother Raul Castro is ruling Cuba. So everybody has got their things. Probably one can get into that part if somebody has got interest to know it. My purpose is not talking about the communism. I'm drawing because those things are very important to know who are following communism, and what is the final product is coming, even for that matter, present China. So, Jinping, if you know the history, this gentleman also has gone through in life journey. Ho Chi Minh, so Mao Zedong, if you can read all those things, the history after China in 1949, almost same time they got the freedom, how the communism has taken a different shape in various countries, in China, in Russia, and in Cuba. Those things, a matter of study, understanding, and interpretation. My final interpretation is there. Communism has not given, is ended with a very bad thing. This Xi Jinping is also having 1.6 billion worth assets. So how everybody knows what kind of democracy is running in China, and the freedom of expression, freedom of voice, whether those are very kind of nationalist when it comes to protect their own country. And what about the pandemic, what is happening, and not allowing scientific community to have the proper investigation of origin of COVID-19 virus? That is a separate topic I want to take. Friends, I want to say something over here. The affiliation of why I brought this communist, the affiliation of communism, the concept of communism, they talk about the globalization of ideas, boundaryless thing. But when it comes to their own country and their own aggression, they do whatever things they want to do it. Probably Nobel committees should be wisdom to know that what is happening exactly with the communism. They should be taken a kind of a broader understanding, broader role of communist, starting from Karl Marx to till their situation. Friends, I told you Mahatma Gandhi 5 times he has applied for Nobel Prize, fifth time also. When last 1948 he was about to submit the nomination, just 2 months he is murdered or killed by whom? Nathuram Godse. So before due date also for the application he was killed and shattered the hope of getting Nobel Prize. That is what everybody is talking about. Now 5 times application he has given, 5 times rejected, nobody has analyzed, and now some documents are in public domain. Norwegian Academy of Science has also published the reason behind not giving considered Mahatma Gandhi's nomination for Nobel Prize, Nobel Peace Prize is very known to everybody. One can have that documentation. So Mahatma Gandhi applied for Nobel Prize 1936, 37, 38, 39 and 1948. just before his death. That is also there. It's a very sad thing for India side that somebody has got not the Nobel Prize, but Professor Muller, he is a committee member of Norwegian Nobel Committee who usually give the Nobel Prize for the peace. Because all you know, before 1885, Sweden and Norway, they are the same country together in Europe, and it splitted. After that, since the prize, Alfred Nobel will paper talks about one of the peace prize will go to Norwegian Academy of Science, rest will be taken care by the Swedish Academy of Science. So I talked about whatever the 5 subjects, probably if I have not missed, let me again repeat in the will paper what is talking about Alfred Nobel. And I told probably who is Alfred Nobel in many lectures. Alfred Nobel is the greatest inventor, scientist, and is a technocrat and an entrepreneur. He's having 355 patents. So he's born in 1832. In latter stage of his life, when he enters with 1890-95, that time he thought he has earned so much money through the entrepreneurship skill by selling his technology, selling dynamite, setting up industries. He has accumulated so much money, and that money probably he felt that what is going to do with that money. So this he cannot carry forward those money to heaven and wherever it might be. So it will be rest in all money will be rest in peace here. So he doesn't like to give those money to their family members. Europeans are very smart that way. So some money probably he felt that 94% is total what money he wants to put into Nobel Foundation for the better cause and development. So 5 subjects include physics, chemistry, physiology or medicine or biology. Another is peace, another is literature. So he has taken only the 5 subjects. There is no mathematics, no economic science. So it is a scientific, it is a document has to be taken in light of history that will paper is a will paper, and he has clearly mentioned what would be the selection process, how his foundation is going to run as a private organization, and the structured form he has given in his will paper, and the subject, whatever subject you want to tell, he has mentioned. Now, one should not tamper his data, and what he has exactly done from 1901 to 2021, close to 1,000 Nobel Prize has given on these 5 subjects, covering 850 to 900 scientists. They got Nobel Prize, among them scientists along with the Peace Prize in different fields, physics, chemistry, biology, they got the Nobel Prize. Those contributions are known if you go through the website of Alfred Nobel. Probably the young generation can learn a lot of things. Who are the Nobel laureate? What are their contribution in science and development? There are many good Nobel laureates like Einstein, Richard Feynman, Marie Curie, then double helix, Watson and Crick, Haragobindo Khurana, and there are a lot of great physicists. They have got Nobel Prize in that time. So they're absolutely very kind of a creative research they have done, published paper starting from astrophysics, theoretical physics, chemistry, biology, and various fields. So there is no denial though they deserve it. So with that hope, friend, the twist of the story is why I am bringing it. In 1968, so I told you 1895-96, your foundation is established, Alfred Nobel Foundation. So almost 69 plus another 5 years, 70, 74, 75 years after that, there is a new element or new introduction of a subject, that is the economic science, is proposed. And one bank from Sweden, Bank, 300 years of celebration of the bank, they proposed to introduce a new subject. And in the memory of Alfred Nobel, they have proposed to Nobel Foundation. to start a Nobel Prize for that. Huge amount of money donated to Nobel Foundation. Whether this is the real reason for giving this money to Nobel Foundation to have Nobel Prize for economic science, or what is there? It is written in the website. It is a money given sponsored by the Risk Bank, and they want to have one award for economic science. This has been treated in officially a prize, which is the memorial prize of Dr. Alfred Nobel in economics, and it is clearly mentioned it's a prize is given from the Risk Bank, and it is not the actual Nobel Prize what Dr. Alfred Nobel has written in this will paper. It's basically a prize. Again, let me repeat. Money is given by bank. Award is given as a bank prize. His designation also is mentioned is in the name of Alfred, memory of Alfred Nobel. This award is also mentioned. This is a memorial prize of Risk Bank prize. That is what it has been mentioned over there. The prize exactly called it Surges Risk Bank Prize in the memory of Alfred Nobel. That is given, I told you, in the website. The official status is mentioned. So why I am saying all those things, there is a reason behind it. That first, my point is, if you want to start a Nobel Prize, so why to introduce the economic science into Nobel Foundation? If somebody is giving donation, probably one can also have one more foundation in the different name. There are great scientists, great philosophers was there, probably in economic science also there are many contribution is there, that name can be taken. My only submission is why to dilute the actual agreement or actual will paper of Alfred Nobel. That is one part. And why this Nobel Committee has introduced the economic science, linking it to other Nobel Prize, it is more confusing. They should clear the stand whether those are actual Nobel Prize, even though it is mentioned many things. My another submission is Dr. Alfred Nobel told very categorically that whoever is getting Nobel Prize in various subjects, it should be taken into consideration. It's a fair selection. That's why he has not given the Alfred Nobel Foundation authority to be part of the system, because he had already the fear of misusing those things if this is given those things. That's why he has given Swedish Academy of Science to do this job, probably hoping that they will do the fair job. For that matter, Norwegian Academy of Science is also come into the picture for the Peace Prize. Friends, I want to tell something different thing. That's why he told it should be free and fair selection. It should be open to public domain. Whoever applicant, everything is clearly mentioned over there in his will paper. Friends, I have told in many of my videos that I told that Dr. Alfred Nobel is very, very sharp person who is having 355 patents. In modern day, people are not even having one patent, and having 355 patents is too much to handle. So he's a very, very intelligent man and a man of visions. That's why he could do everything. People might be thinking that he might have missed the opportunity not introducing the economic science or mathematics or that matter other subject, why they have not got Nobel Prize. I say everybody, in my previous lecture I have mentioned about that part, that he is not that fool that he doesn't know that economic science. Probably, in my opinion, he felt that economic science is not a science, first of all. In I also echo the same thing. Economic science is a part of your life. Everybody understand what is that economic science is all about. One can not have economic science separately and understand the society. It is known to everybody how society works, society function. It is the political science one can study, and the political history probably if somebody can cite the economics probably and tell you that how economical function. If you read, have strong knowledge about economics or political science, so you will have clarity. Now you have brought a new subject of economic science, bringing political science, history, economics, all those things, a cocktail subject, probably interdisciplinary thing is bringing into the picture in Nobel Foundation. I wish to know that in economic science in 1969 or 1896, there is nothing called economic science in a subject as a subject. Why there is introduction of economic science in 1968-69, that is not clear to me. I told you that they could have made a separate will paper or with the Swedish bank that okay, we are making a will paper and you want to give a separate prize for economic science in the memory of somebody else, that could have been done. So what I am again trying to tell you, this is a complete dilution of this thing and it is clearly imposed. The another thing, when this economic science brought into the picture, what Alfred Nobel has told, it's clearly the sanctity of those five subject has to be maintained, and in public domain, whoever is giving application, that should be known time to time, those things to be published and put into bring it to public domain. This is written. But what about 1968? These documents in economic science, there is an additional clause that is imposed from the bank that whoever is putting his application for economic science 50 years, it is very difficult to get the information. No information will be shared. Who are the application? Only you will be knowing who is getting the risk bank prize for that matter. They say it is a Nobel Prize who is getting it. My question is very simple. Why there is a hide and seek over here? If science or process of selecting somebody is not known, so what kind of respect one will be getting? Somebody is getting the Nobel Prize, number one. Number two, if 50 years is a too long time for a life, is a halfway or 60%, 70% life probably is end up keeping that secret documents. Why there is a secrecy in economic science? That is what I want to know. The third point, from 1968, more than 60-70% Americans, they got Nobel Prize in economic science. Rest few here and there. In India, we are very proud that we got two Nobel laureate of Indian origin. So I want to bring those, linking those things to origin, Amartya Sen and Dr. Abhijit Banerjee, their work on poverty line, how they are playing an important role. Last many years, Amartya Sen is criticizing Modi government. Dr. Abhijit also criticizing Modi government, that BJP government. So there is a conflict of interest. They are the Nobel laureate. I told you that I have also written to Swedish Academy of Science to consider, or government of India, the External Affairs Ministry, to inquire about the whole thing, whether what is the status of this Nobel Prize, whether this is a Nobel Prize or this is a told you that is the risk bank prize or not. That has to be taken into consideration. Services risk bank prize, whether it is not, or what kind of prize, that has to be taken and put a kind of a logical conclusion. So now coming back to Amartya Sen and Dr. Abhijit Banerjee, sometimes they criticize the government, I told you. So they are against the government policy. So I am linking 1885 to 2021. Those elements, if I am not bringing it, my story will be incomplete. Those character has to be brought in over here, and what is the play role they are playing over here, that has to be known very clearly. And I want to talk about that part, that how Amartya Sen, his poverty line of theory, considering 1940 Bengal famine, considering everything, he has written many books for poverty alleviation, and for that matter, he has written 50 books. He is a well-read person. He is linked with Santiniketan and to different university. All this globally, he is a recognized person as an economist. My only submission is Just to write economic theory, probably as a science student, I feel you can write only 10 lines to complete the economics part. Otherwise, writing 50, 60, 70 books to understand the economics, how the economic structure will be, it is very easy to, I told in my many lectures, probably you don't need a very kind of a rocket understanding of society. It is everybody knows as a student, political student, or social human being, they know how politically everything operates. Typically in India, as I have told, they are talking about only the poor people. So poor people giving incentive, Dr. Obijit and all, they are telling give them incentive so that their level of, immediately they need money and those kind of incentive. I am opposing all those things. Rather than giving their micro macro economics or whatever the study they have done it, that poverty alleviation program is not been implemented by anybody. They have not considered, probably even previous government has not given a thought that Amartya Sen idea can be implemented. They are the great Nobel laureates. If the ideas are good, why not applying these things? Only talking, they are talking, sitting in a particular place, and they're intellectually imposing and criticizing government, and they want to defame the present government name. That is what I was trying to tell you. I have raised many voices against this thing in my video. Here I am not going to talk about, but these intellectuals are being respected in India. That's why they are being used as a mouthpiece over here. And they don't believe in nationalism, they are universalism. The whole world is their home, and that point of view they talk about many things. They are totally against CA, NRC, all those things. They want all those Rohingyas, all those things they are allowing to come inside, and to be enough opportunity to be given to the poor people to get access to Indian economy. It can be millions of people, they should be allowed, otherwise humanitarian ground will be lost. So there are many things that talked about. In my video I have talked about this Nobel laureate's Hippocratic idea. There is a separate video, it's another 2 hours video probably. One can get into my YouTube channel and understand how they are playing a very kind of a destructive role in order to destabilize the Indian economy without understanding. They understand, they are very qualified person, but till they are criticizing means there is something, some vested interest they have in their mind. Friends, I'll come back to you. I need to have little water. I'm not feeling today good. Okay. Friends, I'm sorry. My voice is little choking. That's why I have to take a break for 5 minutes, and I'm coming. I'm back again. I was talking about the Nobel Foundation and the objective and introduction of economic science, and what is the role of economic science over here, and the two gentlemen who got the Nobel Prize from India, their India origin, Dr. Amartya Sen and Dr. Abhijit Banerjee. I have made a separate video about their work, and I have gone through their entire literature and everything, that what they have written, whatever theory they have proposed. Here in this video it is very difficult. Again, it is going to take more than 2 hours to discuss about the whole thing. That few important points I want to highlight over here. Dr. Amartya Sen poverty elevation theory. He knows it. Sorry, extremely sorry. Friends, I was talking about Amartya Sen and Dr. Abhijit. They got Nobel Prize in 1998, 99. Dr. Amartya Sen got the Nobel Prize. That told it is alleged one, or this is the bank prize, services risk bank prize, or this is official. It is mentioned. Similar way, Dr. Abhijit has got Nobel Prize in 1918, 19 on his micro and macroeconomics. I have few things to say over here. Number one, Amartya Sen poverty elevation studies. It is the 1940-42 Bengal famine is totally created artificially. It is the Jamindar system who has hoarded the money in the natural calamities had happened. On top of that, British also played an important role to make artificially created Bengal famine. He cried a lot in his. I go through this his his work, and his written very emotional thing in this while writing the Bengal famine. It is a sad story of Bengal, that They went to starvation. There are millions of Bengali died at that time. It's the saddest part. So similar way in China also it happened many things. Millions of people that your Mao Zedong, whoever has established the Chinese Nationalist Party, and that time close to 50 to 60, 70 millions people died in China because of starvation, their wrong policies. So those things are part of the history. Probably one should think that why this thing has happened. I told you that the wrong principle, like in food chain, they want to kill, they have killed 16, 17 millions of sparrow, and it has got impacted. They thought if they are killing birds, probably the whatever they are eating, those birds, probably that can be saved and served for the humanity. That's why they have not considered the ecological change. That's why I want to bring that the Darwin's theory of evolution into the picture in the economic science, to understand that all food change little greater way, whether some kind of society we can think of, keeping Darwin in mind. That is what my one of the idea. And coming back to Dr. Obijit, Dr. Amartya Sen, their theories, as long as those are not applying in the society, I can understand, see, and easily all the theories of all the great invention done by scientific community, or for that matter, whoever got the Peace Prize or literature, is well understood and documented for what purpose they got the Nobel Prize. But in economic science, to understand economics, probably I told just few minutes back, if it is given to me, probably I want to write only 10 lines over here. In a very simplistic way, I have explained that how to distribute the wealth for that matter. If wealth distribution is not proper, you cannot talk about only the poor people who are under poverty line, their alleviation, until or unless it is directly connected to the wealth part. Wealth is very important thing in the economy, and that has to be understood very clearly. And if it is not understood probably, then understanding economic science will have not any impact in your mind. So I told, again, this is again 32 minutes gone. I'll take a separate video in continuation to this economic theory, what is they have proposed, and my economic theory. I'll come back to you for this matter, please.